All right, great. Welcome to the stream. This is Rid. This is Ridwan. I am going to be streaming freeCodeCamp right now, and I'm actually going through this coding journey currently. Um, Started about 7 months ago, and so I've been going through different courses and then building different sorts of projects. I stumbled upon this idea where someone actually streamed the entire uh, free code camp. Um, and so I figured, all right, well, why not try it? So this is me just trying to do that throughout the entire thing. Let's see how it goes. And obviously, I encourage you guys to actually jump on and code with me if you guys can. Um, Let me know how the mic works. Let me know how the visuals look and everything. As far as if you guys can see everything on my end, seems like the stream's pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, already kind of started this. I've already kind of started this, so as you can see, let me scroll through it too. Sorry. So as you can see, I started with basic HTML and HTML5, CSS, applied Visual Studio Design, and applied accessibility. Now we'll be moving on to responsive web design principles. I want to keep these streams for about an hour just to start off, and then we'll kind of just go from there. But like I said, let's all go on this journey together, and then you guys help me, I help you, as far as um, critiquing each other as far as coding goes. And then the other thing is, it's always nicer when you're coding together, when you know you're in the same spot, especially, for example, I'm 30 years old, I had an engineering degree, and I did engineering work for some time, and then I decided to jump into coding, and I mean, I do not regret this at all, not one bit. It's obviously been very difficult, but definitely very rewarding, and I've enjoyed it overall, so it's been really good. And before I go ahead and start, please just keep all corona victims or COVID-19 victims in your prayers, and please be safe out there, especially if you are going out there. Stay inside if you can, if you don't have to. Obviously, we should go out, I mean, for mental health and just for exercise and whatnot, but please, everyone, just stay safe. It is very dangerous out there, and people are suffering, especially in parts of, especially in New York City, so keep those people in your prayers. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and just jump into this. Let's see if we have any streamers right now, or people watching. And we have one person. Is that one person just me? Anyways, the chat is up, so obviously chat away. Is it? What's that? And it just disappeared. The the chat just went away for a second. I don't know. I don't know what just happened. Oh, that was interesting. Let me see if this. Let me just make sure this. Yeah, well, I'm just kind of talking to myself, and I'm just gonna stream this. All right. So let's just go ahead and get started at this point. So we have, anyways. So responsive web design principles, introduction to web design challenges. So before I go through everything, just want to just want to show you like what I've been through so far. So for those that don't know what freeCodeCamp is, it's actually something that takes you from novice or not knowing any sort of programming to a full stack developer. I believe, yes, I mean essentially a full stack developer. And so it has all these certifications, responsive web design certification, JavaScript algorithms and data structure certification, front end libraries, etc., etc. It even has coding interview and prep. So I did try the Odin project, and I compared it to, I heard of freeCodeCamp, and then when I wanted to take the next step in my journey, this was months ago, I decided, oh, let me try the Odin project. For myself, I just didn't enjoy it as much, and it's not saying that it's a bad program or any of that, just for myself and the way I learned, per se, it was more, you would have to, I felt like, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like you had to read a lot more and just continue to read until you actually got to the problem. And for me, the best way I learn is either just listen to someone and just kind of take it through an audio sense, and that's much easier for me. Or the second thing is read and then execute, read then execute, so immediately. And that's just the best way I've always learned. Obviously, everyone has their own personal preference. So I'm not saying freeCodeCamp is better than Odin Project or vice versa. I just want to try this out and see how it goes. And I know freeCodeCamp's been around for some time. So as you can see, I've already started with the responsive web design certification, and then I've gone through basic HTML, HTML5, basic KISS, KISS, CSS, applied visual design, applied accessibility, responsive web design principles, and that's what we're going to start on today. And I want to keep these, like I said earlier, to about an hour, and then we'll kind of just see what sorts of responses we get, how I feel, obviously. If I feel up for it, then I'll just keep going. But just to keep myself accountable, my plan is, I think in the next 4 weeks, so I started earlier this week, and then I think by beginning of next week, I can finish through, I think I can definitely finish the responsive web design certification, so then the responsive web design project. So I think today, maybe, I'm hoping, like, I'm just trying to set a goal, responsive web design principles. So today, I definitely want to finish that, the CSS Flexbox and the CSS Grid, and I may or may not stream all of it, but I'll definitely stream the responsive web design principles and CSS Flexbox. And then CSS Grid, I'm not. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have. And the responsive web design projects, we'll see as well, as far as that's based on. Anyways, and then, so as far as for the next month, I would say JavaScript front end. I feel like I can definitely get through JavaScript algorithms and data structure certifications and front end libraries in the next month. And then the month after, I think I can finish the rest of this off. So that's my goal, to at least finish up to front-end library certification, and I'm hoping that doing these streams will obviously hold me accountable, but yeah, so let's see. Alright, that's enough of introductions. Let's just go ahead and get this thing started. Introduction to the responsive web design challenges, and entering now. I'm not going to read everything completely aloud. Obviously, you guys can read it yourself as well. So some of it I may, some of it I may not. I'm just letting you know. Devising image for logic. There's this small. Okay, so this actually resonates a lot with me because I recently just built a portfolio website project. It's below in the description. And so an issue that I'm having, or I was having, was kind of understanding how to cater my website to mobile, to different sorts of browsers, such as Mozilla, such as Internet Explorer, such as Chrome. And the thing is, they'll all have sorts of different specs that you'll need to cater to. And there's actually a website that you can go to, and it'll kind of do that all on your own for the web browsers at least. But then when it for your CSS file, but then when it comes to your actual phone, you do need to utilize certain things within the CSS that you will need to create, I believe. And that's what I did, at least. I don't know if there's anything automatic that does it out there. Maybe there is, and I don't know of it. So if anyone knows of that, if they could just let me know in the comments. And yeah, so this will definitely be very useful. So when I was using my portfolio website on my actual laptop, it looked fine, and then I put it on my phone, and I have to tell people, hey, turn it horizontal or else it's going to look weird. So this will actually help out a lot, and it helps you understand, exactly how everything responds. So go to first lesson. Web design principles, create a media query. Alright, so this is basically telling you how to do that, and then whenever you change the screen size, what will happen, and we're going to be using media queries. So as you can see down here, at media, when the max width is 100 pixels, um, then it returns the content. When the device's width is less than or equal to 100 pixels, but then there's another one that you can do if there's a minimum height, and it only returns the content when the minimum height of the actual screen, so what you're looking at, is 350 pixels, and then it'll return the height. So it has to meet that requirement before it actually returns that content. So for this one, we need to add a media query so that the p tag has a font size of 10 pixels when the device's height is less than or equal to 800 megapixels. Alright, so to start off, at media, so it'll say a font size when the device's height is less than or equal to, so it'll be min height, and then 800 pixels, and then apply the CSS rule, 800 pixels. Nope, sorry, did not do that right. Font size 10 pixels. There you go, that's better. So as you can see, let's see if all the tests run. No, did not do that right. You should declare a media query. So this is a height less than or equal to 800 pixels. I messed that up. Max height, my bad. There we go, let's try that. Nope, your element should have the font size of 10 pixels and the device height 7 or equal. Okay. Well, media query returns the content when the device's width is less than or equal to 200 megapixels. Not sure what I am doing wrong here. Oh, I didn't apply it to the actual, so it has no idea that I'm applying it to that. I forgot how to do that. Let's see, here's an example. Let's see, unique technique. Media. Make rather change the content. Okay, so that returns the content when the device's width. Equal to 8. How long return the content? It's more than, okay, right. The CSS inside the maker is play only if the time matches that. The maker says a p tag. I'm not sure. Alright, well, why don't we get some help? Get a hint. So, oh, sorry. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, my bad. I had to declare that. There we go. My bad. Alright, first hiccup. Alright, so as you can see, the max height, so that it needs to be maximum height of 800 pixels, not megapixels, I don't know why I keep saying that. And so then it'll be 10 pixels. So then if we take this away, so if I comment this away, and on Mac it's command /, so you comment that away, and then it turns back to 20 pixels, and then command / again, and then it'll turn back into 10 pixels because it's at an 800 pixel screen. So run tests, and boom, we are 25% of the way through. Amazing! Look at this. This is amazing. Let me close this out. Alright, web design principles, make an image responsive. And make images responsive with CSS is actually very simple. You just need to add these properties to an image. Max width 100%, height auto. The max width of 100% will make sure the image is never wider and the container it is in. And the height of auto will make the image keep its original aspect ratio. Okay, this styles rules the responsive image class to make it responsive. It should never be wider than its container in this case. Preview window should keep its original aspect ratio after you've added your code. Okay, so I actually probably really need this one, especially for my website issue I'm trying to figure out. Add these properties to an image. Alright, so max width 100%, height auto. Alright, so let's do this. Aha, very responsive, as you can see. Now let me comment it out. See, it's not doing anything. Alright, this is amazing. This is great, responsive image. I'm trying to think where dot responsive came from. How's this? Oh, okay, that's where it is. The class is responsive. I'm sorry. Source. So that on the bottom, as you can tell, that stays the same, and the responsive image. Nice. I'm going to take that, keep that, and make a screenshot of it for later. Alright, so let's run that test. Excellent. Web design principles use a Retina image for higher resolution displays. What is this? Alright, so this is talking about the pixels actually and on different screens, and so it sounds like the simplest way to make your images properly appear on high resolution displays such as MacBook Pro's Retina displays is to define their width and height values as only half of what the original file is. Oh, so basically it's almost trying to cover up for the lack of. So instead of showing you the entire full resolution of that, not full yeah, essentially 100% resolution of that picture, mistake me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just showing you half of it. So it's like looking at something from a distance almost. That's the best way I can think of it. So the closer it comes up, the more of its inconsistencies you see, or any sort of, what would you say? I mean, you get to see everything in finer detail when it's closer up. So then, let's say that for a low resolution picture, you get to see all the pixels and it's very grainy, or it's, I mean, it just doesn't look as clear. But then once you like take it back a little bit of distance, then you can't see all the lacks, I guess you could say, or any sort of that. So then the further you take it back, the more it's like, okay, like that picture looks pretty clear, but then the closer it comes, it's just a little bit more not perfect of a picture. Alright, so for this one, I'm just going to keep it like that. The height is, in this case, both the original height and original width are 200 pixels. Is it half of their original values? Alright, so half the original values. So width, 100 pixels. Okay, so perfect. So basically, if we just comment that out real quick, I mean, the picture still looks fine, but there you go. Run test. And ta-da, we're almost done. We got one more. Donate. This is going to keep coming up. This is going to get awkward because for now, I'm just going to say ask me later. But I will donate. For design principles, make typography responsive. Alright, so this is talking about another way that you can actually change up, at least in this case, the text size, depending on the screen. So you use viewports, so you can do viewport width, height, viewport minimum, or viewport maximum. So here it's asking, and that what it's essentially doing is it's setting, it's utilizing the screen size and then utilizing that to set a, to determine the percentage, to determine the size of the text, and it'll base it off a percentage. So here, for example, if you look at VW viewport width, 10 VW would be 10% of the viewport's width. So here it's saying, here's an example that sets a body tag to 30% of the viewport's width, body, another tag, and then, or body and then width, and 30 viewport width. Yeah, 30% of the viewport, so the viewport, the screen's width. So then here would be H2 width, and then 80% VW of the viewport's width, and the width of the paragraph, and then paragraph width 75. Alright, excellent. So if we comment those out, well, something didn't change. This didn't change. Is it not supposed to change? That did not change one bit. Let me run it. Yeah, okay. That's why. Viewports width. Okay. Viewport minimum 70 vmin would be 10% of the viewport's smaller dimensions. So I did not read that properly. So let's comment that out and see. Okay, so it all looks the same. Alright, great. Alright, well, we finished the first one. Alright, responsive web design principles. This is great. I'm definitely going to use this today to spruce up my website a little bit. But again, let's see if we have any viewers. Oh, great. It's just me, myself, and I. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can get some more people on here. And then there, where is this? Nope, that's not it. There we go, runtime's here. Let's see. Alright, well, we're just going to continue like this. This is the first one anyways. All right. Great. Later. Okay. Introduction to CSS Flexbox challenges. The user interface. Alright, so this is time about responsive web design using the CSS Flex and in the CSS Flexbox challenges. Introduce flexible boxes to create page layouts for dynamic UI is a layout mode that arranges elements in a predictable way for different screen sizes and browsers. New all popular environments support Flexbox. Alright, so let's go and get this started. Use CSS Flexbox, use display, flex to position two boxes. Okay, interesting. I still don't really understand flex. Okay. Placing the CSS property display colon flex semicolon on an element allows you to use other flex properties to build a responsive page. The CSS property display to hash box container. Alright, display, and then flex. What? I don't really understand this. Why did it just do that? Alright, well, we're just going to keep going with it for a second. Let's tweet him back. Interesting. Okay. So display dot flex. I don't get it. Why is it like that? So if we go down to header image class. So does it just stack everything? I really do not understand this. I'm gonna go ahead and go through all of this, and then I'm going to look at get help. Alright, display flex, the header's follow button. Where's the follow button? Follow button. Boom. Does it just arrange everything like a Lego piece? This is interesting. Okay, nothing happened there. The footer. It's just, yeah, it just seems to be arranging everything side by side and very nicely in the stats. That's probably going to move it down a little bit. Oh, what just happened there? Yeah. Alright, so that went up like interesting. Okay. I'm going to run the test. So display I missed one. Profile.name. Oh, my bad. I messed that one up. Nope. Okay, but first, I go back. I want to get help. Get a hint. Ask for help. Yeah, you try that real. Oh, there's a form as well. Okay, nice. So I'll watch a video. Why don't I watch a video? Let's see how that turns out. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go to something else that helps me understand this a little better. So Flexbox CSS. Let me see if you guys can see that. Alright, great. You guys can see that complete guide to Flexbox CSS tricks. Click on the first link. Add the Flexbox child elements. Okay. So let's look at background. And or not. Or that's cool too. There you go. Aims at a more efficient way to lay out, align, and distribute space among items in a container when their size is unknown dynamic. Okay, so it basically is like trying to maximize the amount of space you have. So instead of going all the way down, boom, 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 let's say you have a square, you have a bunch of items that you need to put in there. Imagine almost like when you're going on a long vacation or when you're moving, especially in a U-Haul across the country somewhere. You have to put in a lot of packages, a lot of luggage, a lot of furniture. You have to maximize that space. And Flexbox, in that case, you would do, I don't know, you do your girlfriend, your mom, curly braces, Flexbox. No, I'm just kidding. You do yourself, obviously. Put Flex in there, display Flex, and then you'd be able to put everything in there appropriately. Instead of just putting it all in one line, you try to maximize the space. So that's what it sounds like. The main behind the Flex layout is to give the container ability to alter its items' width and height in order to best fill the space available. It's all kind of displays on the screen size of the Flex container to free space or shrinks them to prevent overflow. Boom. Okay. Alright, got it. Okay, excellent. So that's what it means. Alright, so that makes a lot more sense now. Okay. Use a flex direction property to make a row. Maybe I should just send a message. Center. Alright, sorry. Just giving you a break for a second here. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, Microsoft Edge, please stop. Stop doing that. Search with Google. Nope, I don't want my. Alright, back to it. Sorry. I just want to see what is going on there. Anyways, use the flex direction power to make a row. The default add the CSS property flex direction to the hashbox container element and give it a value of row reverse. Okay. So flex direction, the box container, and then row reverse. So it should switch the colors. All right, excellent. Yeah, 20%, almost 20% done, 18%. Apply the flex direction property to create rows in the tweet embed. Okay. So it sounds like you can also tell Flex exactly how you want to arrange it, or else it'll kind of just try to maximize the display as much as it can. CSS property flex direction to both the header and footer and set the value to row. Alright, so header, so flex direction, excuse me, so row, okay, nothing happened there. Header and footer, and nothing happened, so I messed up something. Oh, apparently not. Not really sure what it did there. Okay. Use flex direction property to make a column. The last two challenges use the flex direction property set to row. So I can also create a column. Children of a flex container. Okay, so now we're just doing it vertically. So flex direction and then column. Now we're about to stack it. Kaboom! There it is. Y'all like that? And Control Enter. Oh, another thing I've learned, obviously not just through coding, but just by utilizing a computer, the keyboard is your best friend versus going to the mouse. Just know your keyboard shortcuts. It's much easier to be on the keyboard versus going to the mouse. I know this might be a little bit of maybe a common sense thing for a lot of you guys, but some people may not know. So I'm just being enlightening. Apply the flex direction property to create a column in the tweet embed. Alright, so now we're going to stack the profile name. Looks like I went over it. There you go. Wherever there's a gap, obviously, that's where they want you to fill in. And then column, and bam. Now looks much better. Much, much better. Alright, align elements using the just select content property. So here we're reading about align elements using the justify content property. So this might take me a minute to read out. Alright, so this is talking about how this is a more custom way of taking up the space in a Flex container. So you have the Flex start, Flex end, space between, space around, space evenly. Space evenly, for example, distribute space evenly between the Flex items with a full space at either end of the Flex container. And then what is the difference between that and, okay, so that sounds like it's more of the content. Almost like a centering type of thing. An example helps show this property in action. Add the CSS property justify content to the box container. Justify content. Give it center. So everything should move to the center. Alright, great. Yeah, so that's really nice. Try the other options for the justify content property. Okay, so then what if we did Flex start? Flex start, so it's at the beginning, makes sense. Flex end is going to move it towards the end. Space between. Oh, nice. Space around. Okay, so it's evenly distributing it. And then space, what's the difference between that and space evenly? Oh, right, because that one, space around is just, remember the space between where the first and last items are not locked at the edges of the container. The space is distributed around all items with a half space on either end of the Flex container. Interesting. Okay, so let's just go back to center. And there we go. And I'm going to save this for later as well. It's going to out. Ta-da! Alright, and now let's run test. Perfect. 40%. Alright, use the justify content property in the tweet embed. The last challenge showed an example of justify content property. By line items, profile. Alright, the last challenge showed an example of the justify content property for the tweet embed. This property can be applied to align items in the profile name element. As CSS property justify content to the header's profile name element and set the value to any of the options from the last challenge. Alright, so justify content to the header's profile name. Should be a gap. Yep. Justify content and set the value to any of the options from the last challenge. So what are some of the options? I forgot. Space between. Yeah, okay, good. Space between. I think, let's just go back real quick. Flex start, flex end, space between, space around. Alright, so let's try space start. Flex start, sorry. Justify content, flex, start. And nothing. Flex end. Aha, that looks good. Let's center it. I like that. Center it. When in doubt, just center it. And Control Enter. Excellent. So here we have the aligned elements using the align items property. Align items property to align flex items along the cross-axis. For a row, it tells CSS how to push the items in the entire row up or down within the container, and for a column, how to push all items left or right within the container. Values available for align items include flex start, flex end, center, stretch, baseline. An example helps show this property in action. Add the CSS property align items to the box container element and give it the value of center. Try the other options for the align items property in the code editor to see the differences, but note that a value of center is the only one that will pass the challenge. So box container, and then align items, and then center. Interesting. So it just changed their entire size actually. That's fascinating. What if we did flex start? Okay, and then flex end, center, flex stretch, not flex stretch, just stretch. So it's just normal again. And then baseline. Is a text concept, think of it as line that letters to the line items to their baselines. Okay. Center. Alright, and run test. Great. 52% of the way through. Alright, almost done here. This session. Use the align items property in the tweet embed. I wonder what happens when I change the screen. Everything just staggers. Interesting. Kind of nice if everything just like centered, right? Well, I guess like there's only so much you can do. So we can apply to a few tweet elements. Add the CSS property align items to the headers follow button element to see the value to the center. So now they're showing us how to do it on more or less a real life example. So follow button, there should be a gap. I think I missed it here. Follow button. There it is. There's the gap. Alright, so align items, and then set the value to center. Nothing is happening. Just going to run test. Alright. Use the flex wrap property to wrap a row or column. Alright, so then this is Flexbox has a feature to split a flex stem, split a flex item into multiple rows or columns. By default, the flex container will put all items together. For example, a row will be on one line. So CSS also has options for the wrap. So also the options for the direction of the wrap. No wrap is a default setting and does not wrap items from left to right if they are in a row, or top to bottom if they are in a column. Reverse wraps items from right to left if they are in a row, to top if they are in a column. One row. This is property flex wrap to the wrap. Alright, so let's see what this does. Flex wrap and give a value of wrap. Okay, so the point of this was, this means extra items move into a new row or column. The breakpoint of where the wrapping happens depends on the size of the items inside the container. Alright, no wrap is the default setting. Wrap wraps items from left to right if they are in a row, or top to bottom if they are in a column. Wrap reverse wrap items from right to left if they are in a row. Alright, so let's do wrap reverse. Aha, interesting. Alright, so again, Flex seems to give you a whole plethora of options as far as how you want to arrange everything, especially within containers. Containers meaning different sections on your website, your basically your website, your mobile app, however it is, on your display essentially. Sorry, how you want to display things on your display in the different sections. So that's actually very useful. Use the flex shrink property to shrink items. Oh, using the challenges, apply the flex container. Alright, so we're almost done with this. We're at about 70%. This will probably go a little bit over time. Sorry, I was about a minute late to this, but yeah, this video will be up and running by the end of today or in the next couple hours, however long it takes YouTube. And then it'll be on my YouTube channel, obviously. Flex shrink items. Show you the flex shrink property let's use. Okay, the flex shrink property takes numbers as values. The higher the number, the more it will shrink compared to the other items in the container. For example, one item has flex shrink value of 1, and the other one has a flex shrink value of 3. The one with the value of 3 will shrink 3 times as much as the other. Makes sense? The CSS property flex shrink to box number uno. Okay, here we go. So flex shrink. You fool are going to shrink by 1, so you're not going to shrink at all. But box number 2, shrink and by a value of 2, so you should see the orange box turn half the size of the blue box and go. Well, that's awkward. Yikes. Run test. What the heck? Okay, there we go. Thank you. Alright. So flex shrink, it did shrink, so if I take this out, nothing happens. If I take that out, alright, there we go. So it takes, it doesn't go 50% of the blue box, it gets 50% of its original size. Yes, okay, that makes sense. Alright, and continue. We're just rolling through this. Use the flex square property to expand items. The opposite of flex shrink is a flex grow. Okay, go figure that. Okay, so same concept. Now it's just doing the opposite. So flex scroll. I don't see any boxes here, but okay, let's see what happens. Aha! There's a box, and that's gonna be big. It's going to be big. Oh yes. All right, perfect. 76% of the way through. I can see the end. I've already set the initial size of an item. Initial size. Adjustment for flex shrink. Flex scroll. Alright, so set the initial size of the boxes using flex spaces. Add CSS property flex spaces to both box number 1 and box number 2. Give box number 1 a value of 10 EM, box number 2 a value of 20 EM. The flex spaces property specifies the initial size of the item before CSS makes adjustments with flex shrink and flex grow. Okay, so flex buses 10 emily's, flex buses 2 20 emily's. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright, use a flex shorthand property. There's a shortcut available to set several flex properties at once. The flex grow, flex shrink, and flex spaces can all be set together using the flex property. Oh, whoa. Flex 1, 0, and 10 pixie dust. Set the item to flex scroll 1, flex shrink 0, flex spaces 10 pixels. Default property sets are flex 0, 1 auto. Interesting. Alright, these values will cause, alright, so if I add the CSS property flex to both hash box 1 and hash box 2, box 1, the values, so it's flex grow is 2, flex shrink is 2, flex space is 150 pixels, and then box number 2, the values are flex grow are 1, flex shrink 1, and flex space is a 150. These values will cause box number 1 to grow to fill the extra space at twice the rate of box 2. Containers greater than 300 pixels and shrink at twice the rate of box 2. The containers are less than 300 pixels. Okay. By that, the flex spaces values of the two boxes. Alright, so flex. We flex in, and here we go. 2, 2, and a 150, and aha! There she blows. It works. And 1, 1, and 150. But oh yeah, you like that? Now if I change this, oh yes, there it is. There it is. It's changing. There it is. Very nice. Oh man, alright, only a couple more left. Only a couple more left, and we are out of here. So if I rearrange items, the order property is used to tell CSS the order of how items appear. Okay, this is property order. So basically it's telling you the order of the items and how they appear. So order number 1, right? Okay, yeah. Order number 2. So that makes sense. Or, okay, yeah. Oh, nope. Messed that up. And there we go. Run test. Very nice. We probably have 1 or 2 more left. Use the align self property. Final property for flex items is align self. This property allows you to adjust each item's alignment individually instead of setting them all at once. This is useful since other common adjustment. Align self. So now we're just aligning. Align self. Center. Okay. And then this is going to go up. Align self. And then flex. Oh no, this is going to go down. Boom. Very nice. Okay. And. Oh, yes. Thank you. Party on, Wayne. I don't know who this Wayne character is. But thank you. Thank you so much. Alright, this has been excellent. I'm not going to live stream this part. I'm just going to do it on my own. But I do want to thank you guys for joining me. I have 3 viewers apparently, so that's wonderful. Thank you for tuning in for the very first rendition of freeCodeCamp by This Is Rid Session 01. So there will obviously be multiple other sessions, and I truly do enjoy doing this. I did enjoy doing the live stream part. It's been pretty great. Thank you for joining me, the ones that did. Please don't forget to tune in next week again, because I'll probably have a live stream. Thinking about keeping it around the same time. Obviously, comment and let me know if you want me to do it at another time, or if another time works better for you. Again, this is my first time streaming, so I'm not really sure as far as the analytics of when the most optimal time for people is. I mean, it's 2 o'clock Eastern time on a Friday, so I'm assuming most people are working. I don't know. Maybe I should do it later, I guess. I have no idea, but I'll figure that out. But again, please comment and let me know. Check out my portfolio website down below. And then obviously, remember, people are struggling right now. People are unfortunately dying right now from coronavirus, and or better known as COVID-19. So please be safe out there. I'm going to find a link either from the Red Cross or somewhere else where you can make donations. So every week, you can at least make donations down below at the link. And please obviously help out everyone. We're all in this together. So please stay indoors. Please stay safe. And until next week, guys, I appreciate your time. So see you later.